welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 26. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most powerful shifts that you can make that will allow you to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you want to be living in the simplest, fastest way possible. I cannot think of a more perfect time to introduce you to this shift than right now. With the holidays upon us and those New Year's resolutions coming our way, everyone can benefit from this shift. But if you are someone who has made New Year's resolutions or set goals for yourself only to give up somewhere along the way or get too busy or fall off track before you reach them, this episode is especially for you. So listen in, because no matter what you have tried or what you have done or how many times you have started only to stop in the past, this shift will make 2025 the year that you reach your goals and reach them in a way that is actually sustainable, a way that works for you, that works for your body, for your time, and your life. Today, we are talking about shifting out of an all or nothing mindset and into an all in mindset. Being in an all or nothing mindset is the most common thing I hear from the women that I talk to and the women that I coach. They are either all in or they are all out. They go hard and are really good, quote unquote, really good for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, maybe 3, and then they are all out. Life gets busy, schedules change, they can't fit it in, they start to feel overwhelmed or stressed, and the first thing to go is the thing that feels the hardest, that's been taking up most of their time and energy, the thing that was never going to last in the first place. It's why they feel like they have tried everything and nothing works. It's why creating change feels so hard. It's why they are frustrated and exhausted, and it's why they doubt themselves and question whether it's even possible for them to create the change that they want to create. They believe that they have done the work, the hard work, and it hasn't paid off. They start to believe that they can't do it, that it doesn't work for their life. Because if they couldn't keep it going when life was happening all around them, there's no way that they're going to be able to do it. They tell themselves stories like, why even bother? What's the point? It's too hard. Nothing works. And listen, this is a story that I know very well because prior to about 10 years ago, before coaching helped me to quiet my inner mean girl, I too was all or nothing. When I was in an all or nothing mindset, I hustled. I worked hard. I did all of the things. I was quote unquote good. But that's part of the problem. Hustling, working hard, doing all of the things doesn't last. Maybe you can motivate yourself and willpower your way through for a short amount of time, but eventually that hard catches up to you. It's too much. It's too heavy. It's unsustainable. And eventually you give up. How you get there is how you will have to stay there. And if how you get there is hard and exhausting, it will always lead you to nothing because an exhausted body and an exhausted mind can't keep going, especially when everything feels so hard. So, when I was preparing for this episode, I Googled all or nothing, just out of curiosity. And the way that Google described it is choosing between two extremes, no middle ground. A negative thinking pattern that involves viewing situations, experiences, and people in extremes, such as good or bad. And a common, unhelpful way of thinking where there are only two ways that things can be. An all or nothing mindset is just another form of perfectionism. If it's not right, if it's not perfect, if you're not good, if you make a mistake, you're out, you're done. You can't do it. It's not working. You don't see the point. You'd rather quit than keep going. You'd rather give up than problem solve. You'd rather feel frustrated and stop than feel frustrated and keep going, knowing that it will get better. You'd rather wait than create. Think about that. When you choose, because you are choosing an all or nothing mindset, you are choosing a life of extremes, a life of negativity, a life of perfectionism in a life where perfect doesn't exist. Is that really how you want to live your life? Is that really the foundation on which you want to build the habits, the confidence, the consistency, the balance that you want? On extremes and negativity? Waiting for the right time, the perfect scenario for life to be without challenges instead of doing the work and creating the life that you want no matter what is going on around you. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you're anything like me or the women that I coach, this is far from what you want, which is why I want to introduce you to an all-in mindset. An all-in mindset is a commitment to your goals, to the habits, to the confidence, to the consistency, the balance, the life that you want to live. It's being willing to take the first step and every step thereafter, all the way through the finish line. It's being willing to figure it out, to get out of your comfort zone, to expect discomfort, knowing that the discomfort you feel is actually growth. And on the other side is the life that you want to be living, the life that you envision for yourself. An all-in mindset is long term. It's for you. It creates change in the simplest, most doable way possible through the small steps that you can take today, the small steps that compound over time, the small steps that the people who are in an all or nothing mindset disregard. An all-in mindset is the fastest way to reach your goals because you're taking out all of the drama, all of the indecision, all of the starting and stopping that happens when you are either all in or you're all out. An all-in mindset creates confidence in who you are and what you do. It creates feeling empowered to make decisions that support you and the life that you want to be living. It creates more patience and more presence with the people that you love. It creates comfort in your body. It creates energy to keep up with the life that you love and to feel used up in the best of ways at the end of the day, instead of feeling exhausted and drained and as if you have nothing left to give. It's feeling whole, like the woman you've always wanted to be. The woman who takes care of herself even when life is busy, especially when life is busy, because that is when we need it the most. It's being the woman who can take care of everything and everyone else around her without feeling frustrated or resentful because she also feels taken care of. If you don't feel taken care of, if you don't feel like you are moving yourself closer to the life and the habits that you want, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel resentful. An all-in mindset is about setting boundaries and upholding them without any guilt or shame. It allows you to create the habits and the confidence and the consistency and the balance and the energy that you want sustainably. And what I have found to be true for myself and what I see over and over again with my clients is when you focus on sustainability, you have more energy to keep going. You don't reach your goals and think, okay, I'm here now. I can reward myself, or now I can take a break, and then slide back into your old ways and find yourself right back where you started. Instead, you keep going because you are what has changed. What you do, how you think, how you feel has changed. And this version of you feels so good that she's not going back. So I want to give you some examples of what an all or nothing mindset and an all in mindset is to help you to be able to identify the ways in which these may be showing up in your life. And I want you to think about how this looks for you. And I want you to think about how you can make the shift. So, examples of an all or nothing mindset may be cutting out whole food groups or your favorite foods, thinking that you have to go no sugar, no flour, no carbs in order to lose weight. It may look like planning all of your meals, prepping food in advance, spending hours in the kitchen. It may look like nailing it for 2 weeks until somebody brings cookies into the office and you decide to have one. Or you go out to dinner with your friends or on a date night with your partner and you eat something that's off of your plan and you think that you messed up, that you fell off track. Or maybe having the cookie or going out to dinner reminds you how much you love to go out to eat or how much you really enjoy cookies and you decide that you can't do it anymore. An all or nothing mindset could look like never allowing yourself to go out to eat or to have certain foods in the house because you believe that you don't have any control. And then as soon as they are around, you remind yourself that you have no control and you go to town. You eat all of the cookies, you eat all of the candy. You get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have had that. And you feel so guilty about it. An all or nothing mindset could also look like thinking you need to work out for at least an hour every day, or that your workouts need to be intense and burn a ton of calories in order to be effective. And so maybe you wake up early, you get yourself to the gym, you push yourself really hard, even when you don't want to do it. But eventually, the thought, I don't feel like it, catches up to you. Your body is exhausted. You're not motivated. You just can't do it anymore. Or maybe your schedule changes or the kids' activities pick up, and all of a sudden, the hour you once had, the hour that you think that you need, isn't there anymore. So you start to tell yourself that you can't do it, that it's not possible, and you give up. All or nothing could also be having unrealistic expectations for yourself. It could be a distorted definition of what success looks like. It could be believing that what you're doing isn't enough or that you're not good at something. It could be a fear of failure so that the first misstep that comes along, the first challenge, the first mistake that you make, the first time you mess up, you're out, you're all done. How you know if you are in an all or nothing mindset is that what you are doing feels hard. You're doing it because you think you have to, or you need to, or you should. You have a million and one reasons why you don't want to do it. And the whole time you're doing it, you think about how much you hate it, how much you wish you didn't have to be doing it, how much you can't wait until you reach your goal so you can stop. That is a big one. If you are searching, waiting, hoping for the finish line, it's most likely all or nothing. It's not sustainable. As soon as you get there, you're going to want to stop because you're exhausted. You are most likely in an all or nothing mindset if you feel exhausted, if you feel frustrated or annoyed or resentful, or again, if you can't wait for it to be done, for you to get there so you can stop. These are all just some of the examples of all or nothing thinking. I really encourage you to look at how this may be showing up in your life so that you can identify it as soon as it creeps in and start to make the shift out of all or nothing and into an all in mindset. So, what is an all in mindset? An all in mindset is a commitment to your goals no matter what. It means that when life gets busy, you pick it right back up. When you miss a day or two or a week, maybe even a month, you get right back to it. When you mess up or fall off track, you get right back on. When it feels hard, you find the strength. When a problem arises, you look for a solution. When it feels like nothing is working, you celebrate the victories that you've had, the big ones and every single small one. When you feel like a failure, you look back and you see how far you've come. And if it takes longer than you expected, you keep going. An all in mindset keeps your feet pointed in the direction you want to go. It carries you closer to your goals and always leads you somewhere. This is the shift that makes my clients so successful. On the hard days, they recommit. When most people give up, they remember why they started. When others give into guilt, they overcome it. They believe their goals are possible. They believe that they are capable and that every step they take is working. They release the judgment they once had and they focus on what is next. They always keep themselves moving. They don't let discomfort or the unknown stop them. Instead, they see it as proof that they're moving themselves in the right direction. They celebrate and they evaluate. They find what's working and they keep it going. And they acknowledge what's not working and they learn from it and modify. They amaze themselves with how simple it all feels, with how quickly they end up getting results, with how much energy they have to give, and how much they feel motivated to keep going. If this sounds too good to be true, I want you to know that it's not. In Confident Mind and Body, you create the belief that your goals are inevitable. You develop a mindset of success, and you establish clear and simple actions that always move you towards your goal. And with all of the support and the accountability that you need from me as your coach, you keep going, no matter what. You can choose an all or nothing mindset, but we all know how that goes. This time, maybe this year, you choose to go all in on your goals, all in on you. This, my friend, is all you need. If you are ready to make this shift, I invite you to schedule a free consultation where I will help you to identify exactly how being in an all or nothing mindset has kept you from creating the habits, the confidence, the consistency, the balance, and the life that you want. During that call, I will give you a plan for the simple steps that you can take to turn it all around, to move yourself out of all or nothing and into an all-in mindset. We'll talk about Confident Mind and Body, and if it's the right program for you, we'll talk next steps to creating your own 6-month transformation. We do that all on a free consultation call. Go to the show details and schedule your call. The link is right in there. I cannot wait to talk to you. I cannot wait for you to make this shift. I will be back next week. You are ready to quiet your inner mean girl. I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbyh.com and schedule a free consultation. Let's